Hi guys, welcome back to FRM Tutorial. In today's video, we're going to go through a May-June 2021 past paper for Family and Resource Management. Before we dive into the past paper questions, please review these important concepts that you should understand in order to answer the questions correctly. Now that you have identified and reviewed some important concepts, let's start working through the past paper questions. I'll read each question aloud and work through the problems step by step, explaining my thought process along the way. As we work through these questions, you'll see how important it is to have a good understanding of the concepts identified earlier. By breaking down each question and demonstrating the problem-solving process, I hope to help you better prepare for your upcoming examination. Question 1. Differentiate between family roles and the family functions. Family roles refers to the part an individual plays in a particular setting, in this case within the family home. Family roles are determined within the social setting of the family. Who is going to play what role based on the individual members and their capabilities, their sex, age, circumstances. Roles are performed by members of the family who have different roles that they perform on a daily basis for the benefit of the family, while family functions refers to how a family operates. Functions are the same across families. All families are expected to carry out the same functions for the benefit of not just the family, but the family and the community on a whole. But roles differ from family to family, and it is done for the benefit of the family. Question 1A2. State one example of a family role and one example of a family function. Examples of family roles include breadwinner, providing for the family, housekeeper, performing household chores, washing, cooking, cleaning, counselor, providing counsel to family members to solve problems or guidance in family situations, education, and other goals. Caregiver, contributing to the family income and aesthetic value through art forms, developing spiritual values and social development, giving assistance in forming good personal relationships. Family functions would include procreation, also known as reproduction, and this is a function of the family which enables the family to increase its family size by bearing children or adopting children. They ensure the continuation of the family species. Then we have socialization. Socialization has to do with the development of the individual. The basic units of socialization are the home, school, and church. The home, school, and church fulfills the function of socializing an individual by teaching certain values to help the individual to develop good moral character and social skills, which will help them to form good attitudes, which will make them fit in easily into different social groups. It also includes the fact that the individual also gets to learn a set of skills and knowledge which will help them to earn a living and ultimately become valuable contributors to society. Providing basic needs. The family provides the basic needs of food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, a sense of belonging, a sense of safety and security. So all of those things are things that the family basically provides. You also have transmitting culture. Here you can give an example of how the family transmits its culture through their beliefs, their customs, their heritage. Some cultures forbid the engagement of sexual activities between family members. This is referred to as preventing incest. So they do this by enabling the blood relatives to know the sexual cautions that they should maintain with each other So they know their relatives and they are cautioned as to the fact that they cannot get into sexual engagements with each other because they are family members. Mr. Brown, a single parent of 2 preteens, recently gained employment on an overseas farm work program. In his absence, his 75-year-old mother, who suffers from arthritis, takes care of his children. The children actively participate in several extracurricular activities during the week and on weekends. B. Outline 2 benefits that Mr. Brown's absence could have on the family. My answers include an improved standard of living for the family. The grandparent and children get to develop a closer bond. Children learn more about their customs and tradition from their grandparent. And the grandparent gets the opportunity to develop stronger moral and spiritual values among the children. B2. Outline 2 challenges the family may experience as a result of Mr. Brown's absence. Answers may include: they may feel unsafe or insecure due to the absence of the male figure from the home. Challenges with home maintenance. Mobility in relation to the grandmother getting around. Disciplinary issues with children, dealing with teenagers' attitude and the stress related to this. B3. Suggest one solution to each of the challenges outlined in B2. Therefore, you're going to be suggesting a solution for each of the challenge that you would have named at B2. They can install cameras or grills. 2. Hire professional services to carry out maintenance as required. 3. Get a helper to assist both the children and the grandmother. And 4. Counseling for the children. Number 2. Define each of the following terms as they relate to the family. Management. Management is the making of decisions about the wise use of resources to achieve goals. Goals. Goals are targets we set out to achieve. 2B. State 2 features of management. I have gone ahead and listed more than 2. Teamwork, group effort. Continuous process. So management is a continuous process. It is goal-oriented, purposeful. Therefore, it aims at the accomplishment of predetermined objectives. Decision-making. It includes integration of human and non-human resources and organization of activities. The Marx family is anticipating a family reunion of several generations. Family members have been planning the reunion for the past 3 years, and over 50 relatives of various ages from across the globe are expected to attend. C1. State the main goal of hosting the reunion. The main goal of hosting the reunion is to reunite or bring generations of the family together. Number 2C2. Suggest 3 critical tasks the Marx family must take into account when planning the reunion. Some of the answers may include brainstorming the availability of family members for a mutually convenient time and date so that all members can be in attendance. Estimating an amount of money needed to be spent, family contributions that will need to go towards the amount of money that is to be spent to make the event a success. Suggesting or deciding a suitable venue. Number 2C3. Describe 3 elements that must be considered when organizing the reunion in order to ensure its success. In organizing the reunion, you need to consider the food that will be on the menu based on what is the amount of food that is to be served based on the number of family members that is being catered to. the dishes that will be on the menu. Is there anyone among the three generations of the family who have special dietary needs? Persons who are diabetic, persons who are hypertensive, persons who are Rastafarians, or based on their religion, they will not be able to eat certain types of food, or just based on their likes or dislikes. You would also need to consider the venue, the suitability of the venue in order to book the venue. In organizing it, you also need to consider the amount of money that is available based on the projected income that each member of the family from generations will be contributing in order to make this event a success. You also need to consider the entertainment activities, putting the relevant things in place in terms of booking the DJ, purchasing games and gears that are needed in order to provide for a good experience for all family members. Number 3, define the term work simplification. Work simplification can be defined as the conscious seeking of the simplest and quickest method of getting work done. To consciously seek the quickest and easiest way of getting work done, one needs to have knowledge of work simplification strategies. Question 3b asks to describe 2 work simplification strategies used in the home. There are quite a few of them. Dovetailing and clustering can be found in the video on my channel for 2018. Here I'll go ahead and describe dependent sequencing and independent sequencing, as well as overlapping. Dependent sequencing. Whenever I think about dependent sequencing, I oftentimes think about the construction of a garment or the making of a cake. Now, this means that the tasks, they are all related to each other, and the task can only be done after the step required to be carried out before it has been completed. For independent sequencing, these tasks are unrelated, and so these tasks are carried out separately. A quick example would be like raking the yard and then moving on to washing the dishes. And so this can be done in any order. Both activities are not related to each other. You'll just need to coordinate what you'll do first and what you'll do after that. Overlapping. One task is a part of the other task, and so both of them are going on at the same time. Basically, each task requires a different level of attention. A suitable example would be knitting while watching the television. C. Jade is the captain of her high school's netball team. She is preparing to write her CSEC examinations and finds it challenging to organize her time among her studies, chores, and school activities. Question 3C1. For each of the effects listed in the following table, state 2 likely consequences Jade may experience as a result of her poor time management. The effects listed include psychological or emotional, physical, and social. Now you're asked to state 2 likely consequences of each of the effects. I believe psychologically or emotionally, Jade will likely feel flustered, overwhelmed, and have anxiety attacks. Or, number 2, she may experience crying episodes, tantrums, and/or feelings of sadness or unhappiness. For physical, she may feel tired, drained, fatigued. 2, she may fall ill due to lack of rest and experience loss of weight. Socially, she may begin to interact poorly with her friends, and this can lead to arguments or to her losing friends. She may also find it difficult to spend time with her friends, and this may cause her to be socially withdrawn. Or lack of or decreased communication with family and friends. C2. Recommend 4 guidelines that Jade could follow in order to manage her time wisely. Here goes. Create a schedule to organize time and activities, list of things to do, and the time to do them. Prioritize activities, do the most important ones. Spend extra time working overtime to get work done. Use available resources to assist in shortening tasks and time spent on tasks. Example, skipping a few tasks. Using family members to help. Using labor-saving devices to assist in completing the work faster using less energy. Remove distractions. Utilize work simplification techniques which will allow her to make use of passive time while working to get work done in less time. Number 4. Define the term consumerism. Consumerism is a movement that promotes the interest of buyers of goods and services. Number 4.2. State 2 rights of a consumer. Here are a few rights of the consumer. The right to be heard, the right to be informed, the right to redress, the right to a healthy and safe environment, the right to truthful and honest information, the right to choose, the right to consumer education. Question 4.3. Identify 2 agencies responsible for consumer protection in the Caribbean. The Consumer Affairs Commission, the Consumer Protection Agency, Bureau of Standards, and Public Health Agency. The table below shows a number of scenarios. Complete the table by writing the appropriate action the consumer should immediately take to demonstrate responsible behavior in each scenario. Give a reason for each action. An example has been done for you. Number 1. Aaron asked his father to assemble his newly purchased tricycle. Action. Read the instruction manual or booklet. So that's the question asks for you to outline the action and the reason for the action. The reason for this action that has been outlined is that it provides detailed information for assemble and to keep Aaron safe as well as to avoid damage to the tricycle. Next scenario. A homeowner is buying light bulbs at a hardware store. Action. Check the amount of wattage. Or another action could be to check if it is working before leaving the store. Reasons. This will determine the amount of energy use and the value of light it will give, whether it is bright or it is dull, or it will give warm light or a cool light. So by carrying out that action of checking the amount of wattage, that is the reason for it. In terms of the checking if it is working, right here, the reason for that is to ensure that the product is working before leaving the store and seeing how it is performing, how it would perform before you actually go home and then recognize that that is not the product that you had actually wanted. Final scenario. When Mary got home, she realized that the milk she had bought was spoiled even though the expiry date had not passed. Action. Return to the store with the milk and the proof of purchase. Reason. To receive a refund or exchange. A young couple has just moved into an unfurnished apartment and needs to purchase a new washer and dryer. The couple does not have all of the funds required to make the purchase. C1. Suggest 2 suitable methods of payment that could be used to purchase the washer and dryer. Layaway, hire purchase. C2. State 1 different benefit of each method of payment suggested in C1. Hire purchase. The consumer gets to enjoy the services of the product while it is being paid for on a monthly or weekly basis depending on the agreement. Or, the consumer can work out a monthly installment which is suitable for him or her, but this will determine the length of payment time. Layaway. The consumer pays as they can afford. No set amount is required to be paid at any given time. The consumer pays as they are able to until payment is completed. They get to pay the exact cost of the item. No extra payment or charges of interest is incurred. 5A. Define each of the following terms and give one example of each. Dining etiquette. Dining etiquette refers to behavior that is displayed while dining or proper manner and behavior during dining. Example: keeping the elbows off the table, chewing with your mouth closed, cut only a few small pieces of food at a time, and I'm sure you can list quite a few more dining etiquettes. Leisure. Leisure refers to the time in which someone is not working or is not occupied. A person's free time. Example: relaxing on the beach, playing board games, watching a movie, gardening, riding a bicycle. 5B. Your school's planning committee will be hosting an upcoming luncheon for past students, which is scheduled to be held on July 17, 2021. Suggest 4 strategies that the committee could utilize to reach out to the members of the past student body. 1. They could refer to the past student's file and locate the telephone contact that is on it and try that method of reaching the parent. They could send out invitations via emails. They could send message to the past student association. They could also post a notice on their school's webpage. Number 5B2 asks for you to prepare a draft of the formal invitation to be sent to the invitees. The following information is required and should be included in the formal invitation. The host, which is the name of the school who is inviting the past students to the luncheon. So, the host, the name of the invitee, the occasion, the venue, the date, and the time. To the lower left-hand corner, you need to also include RSVP, which means please reply or respond if you please. Number 6. State 2 features of each of the following types of housing. Bungalow. Bungalow is usually a one-story house. It has a wide veranda. A studio apartment. In a studio apartment, all living facilities are located or are housed within one single, compact, and self-contained space. In a studio apartment, the bathroom is usually the only separate room in the space. The next type of housing that you are to name 2 features or you are to state 2 features is the townhouse. The townhouse, they are similar houses that are attached to each other in a row. The bedrooms are usually upstairs and the other living amenities are found downstairs. Number 6B. The Jones family lives in a 2-story building near to the sea, which houses its family restaurant. The restaurant is located on the ground floor while the family lives upstairs. Explain 3 different types of hazards that are likely to occur in the building. After careful thought and consideration reviewing of the scenario given about the Jones family, I have come up with the following types of hazards. Fire hazards caused by unsafe practices in the kitchen or faulty electrical wiring. Pest invasion if garbage is not disposed of correctly. Environmental damages, which may include flooding due to high tides and beach erosion, where sand is picked up on the beach and transferred into the sea. Rotting or rust of steel, where sand water has a corrosive effect on concrete, metals like zinc, iron, steel, wood, and so these lead to structural damage in the future. Guys, please remember that the question did ask for you to explain 3 different types of hazard. So therefore, you cannot just write fire hazard or pest invasion. You would have to explain these types of hazards. And finally, number 6, part 2. For any 2 hazards identified in B1, recommend 2 precautions that the family should take to make the building safe. So you would have named 3 hazards. Now you're asked to recommend 2 precautions the family should take to make the building safe based on the hazards that you would have named before. For the fire hazard, the family could install sprinkling system, a fire extinguisher, and smoke detectors. They could also check electrical equipment and remove defective equipment. As for pest invasion, they could install mesh doors and windows to prevent rodent entry, implement proper disposal systems, seal crevices or cracks in walls. They could also seal doors with a sturdy steel and door sweep to cover gaps between the door bottom and the threshold. For the environmental hazards, they could install building reinforcers or anchoring of the house. They could use weatherproof paint and finishes on specific materials to reduce the effect of environmental damages to the house. And they could stack bags of sand around the building. Thank you for tuning in to this FRM tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more tutorials on family and resource management. Now, good luck on your examinations.